Hello everyone, welcome to Clarity 16.0.1 Supportability and Feature Training. I am Vib Mehrotra, and as part of this section, I will be talking about the ideation enhancements. So in 16.0.1, we are making the following enhancements to our ideation functionality. First, we are introducing the ability to define idea templates. We will then have the ability to create new ideas using templates. There is a new access right that will allow the users to create idea from templates. We can define blueprint specific required fields, and finally we'll have the ability to visualize the idea data using widgets. So why is this important? Several of our customers have been asking for a long time to have an ability to define or create new ideas using templates. They want to make sure that their end users are using predefined template values to create ideas, and also to make sure that when a new idea is created, certain required fields are populated based on the type of ideas, so that the idea can then go through the formal approval process correctly. So in order to make this functionality available to our customers, the first thing we've done is introduce the template flag in the idea object. This template flag can be set on any idea that does not have actuals, making that idea as a template. When a new idea is created using a template, then we have a new field called originating template, which will then be populated with the name of the template that was used to create the idea. Both of these fields can be secured using the field level security in the Modern UX Attributes section. We've introduced a new create from template right for ideas. This right will control which user will see the new from template button and then be able to create an idea using the template. This right is in addition to the existing idea create access that was available. The new right will obviously allow the users to create from template, but the old right will continue to allow the users to create a new idea using either the plus button in the grid view or the new card button in the board view. The flow to create an idea from a template is similar to projects and custom investment types. The flow is the same, where the user can click on the new from template. When they click on that, a modal will pop up which will display the list of templates that are available. The user can select any of the template, which is a non-editable list. Once the user selects one of the template, then the next button will be made available. Clicking on the next button, the create from template modal will be displayed based on either the default blueprint or the blueprint assigned to the template. The fields displayed here would be again as defined in the blueprint, plus any additional required fields that were not in the blueprint but do not have any default value. When creating the idea, the following will be copied over from the template: the risk, issues, changes, financials, cost plans, benefit, staff, and links will be copied from the template to the new idea. We also have the ability to define required fields per blueprint. This functionality is the same as how it functions for projects and custom investment types. And the way it is done is you can create a new rule, and in that rule, when you set the condition to be always true, you will have the option to define which attribute should be required. You can define any number of attributes, and those attributes then, if do not have a default value, will automatically be appended to the create from template screen. The create from template screen, similar to projects and custom investment type, can be defined per blueprint. Blueprint required attributes will have an asterisk next to them to indicate that these are required values. And again, any attribute that does not have a default value in the studio or in the template and has not been included in the create from template will automatically get appended to the create from template screen at runtime for the end user. The required values that are configured in here will be enforced during the create modal properties as well as in the flyout and grid layout. And finally, the widgets have been introduced in the ideas list layout. Creating and defining of the widgets will be covered in detail in the widgets enhancement section. The functionality works similar to how we have widgets in the other parts of application, where the user can click on the widget button and then define the widgets, the different types of widgets that are available into, and then be able to view that data and save it for different views within the idea. Again, the details will be covered in the widgets enhancement section. So with that, let's see the product in action. So I am here in Clarity 16.0.1, and the first thing I want to show is the new license type that is introduced as part of this release for idea creation. So I'm in the administration, I'm under the license information, and I've filtered for ideas create, and I can see there are now two access types. The first one is the same access that existed in prior releases. This ideas create allows the user to create an idea using the plus button or the new button from in the board view. The new idea that is introduced, or sorry, the new access right that is introduced is the ideas create from template. This is the right that will allow the users to create an idea from template. This is the same right that will display the new from template button in the board view and in the grid view. Next, let's go into just our attributes section in the modern UX. So here in the modern UX administration attributes, I'm just going to show you the same two templates attributes that are introduced for idea. So here is the idea template. Again, both of these can be secured if I want to secure them to make sure that only certain people can populate this value, or only certain people can define which idea instance can be used as a template. Next, I'm going to go into the blueprints, and for the idea blueprints, I'm going to show the create from template modal that can be defined. So first, I'm going to go into my default idea default blueprint, and now you can see that within the blueprint I have create from template as a tab available. Clicking on that, it's a very similar functionality where I can see which are the fields that will be displayed to the user when they create an idea from template. I can include any additional field that I want by just dragging and dropping, and I can take the same one out by just clicking on the X button. If I go to rules, I can now define either a new rule or edit an existing rule. When I create a new rule, I have the option for condition equals always true, and doing so will make the action for required attributes available for me. So instead of creating one, to save time, I'm going to go ahead and look at one of the rules that I've already created. And here, again, my condition is always true, required attributes, and I have these three fields as required: the idea type, idea priority, and idea category. I can go ahead and publish this. Let's go look at my another blueprint for ideas, which is the idea high priority. When I go and look at this one, here I can see in my create from template modal, I have extra fields defined. I have the planned capital cost, operating cost, the cost, start and finish date also as a field that I want the end users to populate. The idea category and idea priority have asterisks next to them. That means those are required fields. And if I go look at my rules for high priority and look at the high priority rule for conditions always true, I see that there are additional fields that I've defined, specifically my corporate priority, business unit priority, the architectural fit, the sponsorship risk. So there are quite a few additional fields that I want my end users to populate when they're creating a high priority idea. Now let's see the actual ideas itself and the new template flag. So for that, I'm going to go to the ideas within my modern UX. I have filtered for just the idea templates, and that's because I have this new flag called template equals and set it to yes. The same attribute is being added into my list view, and I have two templates created. One is just the general idea template, which is using my general default blueprint, and the second is the high priority idea, which is using my high priority blueprint. To create, I now have this new from template because I have that access right, the new access right assigned to my user. When I click on that, I get the modal, which will only show me the two templates that are available to me. This is the same standard modal that the create modal that is available for projects and custom investment types, which I can configure to have additional columns if I want to. I can configure my views as I want to. So I'm going to first go ahead and select the general idea template, and notice in this one, once I've selected, the next button became available to click on. Clicking on that shows me the create from template modal based on that blueprint. In here, the modal had only the start date, finish date, idea category, idea type, subject as the values that I populated. The idea priority was a required field but was not in my create template modal, so it automatically got appended at the end. So that's how the functionality will work. Once I populate all of these fields, the create button is now available to click on. So I'm going to go out of that, and I'll now instead try to create a high priority idea. So same flow, click on new from template, select the high priority, and now my next button is available. Clicking on that, now you can see the create modal is different. I have additional fields. All my financial fields have been automatically displayed, and I have now additional fields which are not in my create from template but have been added here automatically because there is no default value populated for them either in Studio or in my template. So these fields have automatically got appended. My idea priority was populated in my template, so it is also now populated here, but because this was in my create from template screen to be displayed, it'll be displayed right here then with the pre-populated value. Once I fill out all these fields, then the create button will become available to me to proceed. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of that. And the last thing I wanted to show is the widgets in the modern UX. So now you can see that within my ideas list page, I have this new icon available to me that I can click on called show widgets. By clicking on that, I get the manage widgets option. Clicking on those, I can now create any widgets and then include them in my view. For demo purposes, I have pre-created several of these widgets. However, out of the box, you will not see any of these on your screen. You will have to define them the first time. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go to the view in my financial where I've already added those widgets. So by going to that view, Now I can see the ideas data as widgets. Creating of the widgets are the same functionality, and it'll be covered more in detail in the widgets enhancement section. That concludes this section. Thank you everyone.